Well, hello there everyone, my name is Amy, this is the Opinionated Woman, and welcome to Crafty Reads, the series where I craft something and we talk about the last 5 books that I've read. As for the last couple of episodes, I'm still working on this scrap yarn sweater. If you read my description box from the last Crafty Reads, you would have seen that I had to frog some, and I redid that and then realized that the blue that I had on, even though many people told me that it wasn't reading pansexual pride flag, I couldn't unsee it, so I had to frog the bottom, but I did add some onto the sleeves. The sleeves obviously do need some work. Hang on, let me just show you it. I'm just talking about it as if I don't have it in my hands. Yeah, so that's how it's looking. The sleeve looks adorable. I love these colors together. They're like, I want to eat them. And then I've got this variegated one that I am starting on now. Where am I? There we go. So yeah, I am trying to speed up my reading now because as it stands, what is today? The 20-something of November. I can't remember what the day it is. It's like the 24th or the 25th. I can't remember. So I haven't got very much longer, and I've got 10 books left to read. So I've been making sure to prioritize books that are shorter, books that I am going to read more quickly so I can make sure I reach my goal. Because like, it's a fun thing. It's not a competition thing. It's not so that I can post it on social media. It's a nice challenge that I've done. I used to do it as a kid. When there was no social media, and it's just like a fun challenge for me to do, like gamifying your reading a little bit, because why not? So I like to hit 100 books a year because there are so many books in the world that I want to read. Just 100 a year is like not enough. But yeah, that's why I'm trying to read this. So this is 86 to 90, so we have 10 books left, and I hopefully am going to hit it. But forget about that. Let's actually talk about the last 5 books that I've read. The first book I read was a library book, so I don't have it here right now because I've returned it, so I'll put a little picture for you next to my Diefenbach here, Amy. Isn't it beautiful? Is that the right way? So the Wonder has been floating around for a while, and I've not been sure if it's for me. And then I saw it at the library, and I was like, that's a great thing about the libraries. If you're not sure about a book or a writer in particular, you can just give it a go for free. And that is why the library is the best fucking thing. I went to the library to return these books, and I ended up with 2 more. I was supposed to return it and then finish reading my TBR. Oh, there's a lizard in my house. It's got no tail. My cat probably ate it. Sorry, bud. Eat my bugs, please. Thank you. Anyway, the library's the best. So The Wonder is following our main character, Libby. It's set in like the 1800s sometime. And Libby is a nurse, and her and one other nurse... Oh, it's about to change color? Yeah, buddy. Change color time is so good. So we're following Libby, who is being sent, she's from England, and she's been sent to Ireland to go and, along with another nurse, watch over this girl, because the parents are saying that this kid has not eaten in 3 months, and that she's just surviving from manna from heaven, because they are super, super religious and Christian, like to the point of absurdity for me. I'm very much an atheist. I grew up Catholic, so it was knocked out of me by the fervor of the schooling system. Anyway, so Libby is not religious, and she's just been like, no, actually, practically, how is this little girl alive right now if you say she's not eating? So the community has put together a committee, and her and this nurse are going to have to watch her 24/7 to see how she's eating, and then try and figure out what it is. Like, so many people in the town are convinced that she's like a miracle child. A lot of people like will come and visit her, and they'll like give donations and stuff like that. So Lib's thinking, oh, maybe that's what they're doing it for. So she basically has to sit there and find out. And it's very dark in atmosphere. It's not like super dark in subject matter. It's just got this certain type of atmosphere because a lot of her shifts go overnight. So she's just sitting there by candlelight observing this little child who's like constantly whispering this one prayer because she thinks if she says it 33 times per day, her dead brother is going to go to heaven. I swear, religious stuff is so hectic. Like, religious trauma is a thing for a reason. It's fucking intense. So I'm not going to tell you whether it was real or fake or anything like that. I just thought it was well written, and it had good atmosphere, and it had a twist that I didn't expect in the end, and I enjoyed it. It had like a good feeling towards the end. So I definitely think I'm going to venture into Emma Donoghue in the future because I like historical fiction, and I especially like historical fiction set in Ireland. It was one of my favorite places to go when I was a child because my great uncle lived there. We still have his land. We're trying to sell it, but it's very hard. Not me, my father. Little bit of fact about me: have Irish family. Anyway, so yeah, I thought it was good, and I'm looking forward to reading more of her writing in the future. Then I read Allegedly by Tiffany D. Jackson. Hot dang, this book, God, wow. It's one of Tiffany D. Jackson's earlier works, but it's just taken me a while to get to it. I've read most of her other books except White Smoke. I need to read that still. And I love her writing. It like hits you in the heart every single time, and this one is no different. And Allegedly we're following Mary, who is in a home for girls who've basically like committed crimes, and she talks about previously being in baby jail. So she's been incarcerated in some form since she was 11 years old, and she killed a baby. Now when Mary discusses it, she always says allegedly afterwards. So we're given the impression that like, yeah, she didn't do this, and she's actually been like sort of framed for this as a child. And we get introduced to her mother, who comes to visit her periodically at this home. And it's very clear that her mother is not a good person, and it's very it just gives you an icky feeling like the mother has had something to do with this. So we go through Mary basically, well, one, finding out that she's pregnant and wanting to keep her child, and knowing that they're not going to let a baby killer keep their child. So she finds a lawyer and then starts to try fight her case. And we get little flashbacks into her history, seeing what was going on around that time, the different relationships she had, like with the baby's mother, and the boyfriends that her mom used to bring into the house, and the very volatile relationship that she has with her mother. And it ends, oh my God, the twist, like I literally sat there going, I was listening to it and I was like, what am I hearing? What? Oh my God. And I was like, I'm scared. And then it ended. And I was like, Tiffany D. fucking Jackson. Bitch never misses. A bitch never misses. It was really good. I really recommend it. I'm not going to tell you anything about the twist because it threw me for a loop. But yeah, obviously, as with every single Tiffany D. Jackson I've ever read, highly recommend. Then I read In a Dark, Dark Wood by Ruth Ware. I've been wanting to read Ruth Ware's backlist because I do really enjoy her thrillers. And luckily they're easy to find at secondhand bookstores, where I found this one. I found this one's at Edgens. And In a Dark, Dark Wood has the signature Ruth Ware atmosphere. That's what I love about a Ruth Ware book, is she will establish a great atmosphere, most of the time in a remote, creepy house. She's really good at remote, creepy houses, and I'm all for that vibe. This remote, creepy house is the setting for a bachelorette party, and our main character Nora has been invited to her old school friend Claire's bachelorette party by a new friend called Flo. And her and another school friend are like a bit confused as to why they've been invited, because they haven't had like contact for very long, and Nora's not even invited to the wedding. She's just invited to the bachelorette party. So she's a little bit confused, but she makes a pact with her friend, like, okay, we'll go and we'll back each other up. So they go, there's 6 of them, and they go and have this bachelorette party, and a bunch of secrets come out. The vibe is creepy as hell. Like, there's not like scary stuff happening all the time. It's not that type of thriller, but she just establishes tension so well, and I just think she's really skilled at that. And like, the twist at the end was good. It was unexpected, but I found that it wasn't as well fleshed out as some of her other later books. So you can definitely tell that this was a much earlier work of hers, and like, her writing has just gone from strength to strength since then. But I mean, I didn't have a bad time reading this, and I thought the fact that we flip between Nora in a hospital bed and then to Nora in the past at the bachelorette, like, creates a really good amount of like intrigue. So yeah, I enjoyed it. Not the best, but I enjoyed it. Don't you love that combo there, and the way that it changes color? Very nice. Okay, so like I said, I'm wanting to hit my goal, my reading goal, and sometimes the easiest way for me to do that is to do a reread of some of my favorite middle grade. I've got a whole Jacqueline Wilson collection, and I have 3 Saddle Club books by Bonnie Bryant, and there's one that I haven't reread, and that was Ranch Hands. I had a huge collection of these, but my mom donated them because like they're childhood books. I don't have space for a whole bunch of childhood books. Some other little horse girl can like enjoy them, but I said to her, I need you to keep 3. And this one I kept in particular because this is the book where 9-year-old me found out that Father Christmas wasn't real. It was heartbreaking. So I come out Christmas 1999. Is it? Yeah, Christmas 1999. And this is wrapped under the Christmas tree, and I know it's a book, and I'm like, yeah, because I love books. And I'm like a little voracious little reader. I'd been reading for like a few years at that point, so I was like, give me all the books. And on the outside of this, there was a tag that said, to Amy, love Father Christmas. And I was like, dope, Father Christmas, he knows me. Motherfucker knows me. He knows I want my Saddle Club books. So then I open it up. Does it have any incriminating evidence? No, it doesn't. And I see this. Dear Amy, have a reading good Christmas. This is in my mom's handwriting. Love, Mom, Dad, Philip, Francis, and Jay. Kiss, kiss. And I'm like, oh, it's not from Father Christmas. It's from my mom. She wrote inside it. And that tickled me, and I remembered that this was that book, and I was like, you know what, it's time. I need to read this. So it's just a fun little middle grade. The Saddle Club consists of Stevie, Lisa, and Carol, and they all ride at Pine Hollow Stables. And in this one, it's the summer holidays. Lisa is going overseas with her parents to Europe. But of course, she finds her way to have horsey shenanigans happen to her that are so ridiculous and middle grade, like 90s middle grade. It was just so good. And Stevie and Carol have gone to a friend of theirs' ranch to help with a summer camp. And ridiculousness ensues. It's just a cute old fun time. I'm really glad I read it. It was really nostalgic, and I got to tell my sibling about some of the plot lines, and they were like, oh my god, that's so fucking hilarious. So like, there's one point where Carol and 3 of the campers have stayed behind because the rest are doing this like cattle wrangling, I don't know, western stuff, I don't know, and the person who's stayed behind with Carol and the 3 campers wakes up, and she's like, the horses have got out. It's because of Arthur. There's one horse, and he's a troublemaker. His name's Arthur. So said adult wakes Carol up, and Carol's like, okay, cool, no problem. I'll sort this out. You go back to bed. She's like 15. And the adult's like, okay, cool, goes to bed. And Carol and these freaking middle schoolers all have to go get like 20-something horses back off their neighbor's land because they escaped. All while the only adult involved is fast asleep. I thought that was very funny. But yeah, that's Adult Club. This was my jam back in the day. And then just last night, during the Chelsea Women's Champions League game, I finished Instructions for Heatwave by Maggie O'Farrell. And as usual, Maggie O'Farrell doesn't ever miss. She's so fucking great. And she's really good at doing family sagas and interpersonal relationships, like intricacies of interpersonal relationships. So in this book, we're following the Riordan family. Greta and Robert are the parents, and they're quite old now. Their children are adults, and Robert comes downstairs one day, and he says he's going to go off to get the paper, and Greta's like, okay, sweet, no problem. I mean, she didn't say it like that. It's like set in the 1970s during like that really famous heat wave in the UK. And he never comes back. She makes her soda bread and everything, and he never comes back. So she ends up calling all of her children to come and be with her in her time of being in need kind of thing. So we get Michael Francis, who's like on the brink of divorce and has 2 kids, and we have Monica, who just had her second marriage, and she's married a man with 2 girls who don't like her at all. And then there's their estranged sister Aoife, who lives in New York and has been gone for a while, doesn't really communicate with them very much. She hasn't seen the family for 3 years. So they all converge together and everything gets all messy. We get a lot of flashbacks to the past to see where the sort of fractures in these relationships happened, and we get like flashes into each child's life, so that we know like where there's like we get like a really good snapshot of where each of these children are in their lives, and we get to witness like their relationships as adults while we're introduced to stories about them as children, which I really liked, and it was interwoven into the story really well, just like Maggie O'Farrell usually does. I would have liked a little bit more resolution in the ending. I think that would have I suppose it did have a kind of resolution to a point. Actually, I'm thinking about the last scene now. The last scene was actually really nice. Never mind, I liked the ending. Okay, that's it. Happy Crafty Reads. There should be one more Crafty Reads this year. In December it'll come out. This one will probably also come out in December, but there'll be another Crafty Reads after this, and then the final Crafty Reads for 2023 will probably come in early January. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I did. I'm loving this sweater so much. I can't wait to wear it. I'm going to wear it when I go to the UK next year. So excited to go to the UK. Anyway, if you want more from me, there is links to my TikTok and my Instagram down below. There's also a Kofi link, which is like a one-time tip jar if you ever feel like supporting my channel. But other than that, like, comment, subscribe, all of that fun stuff, and I'll check you next time.